Since you clicked on this video, I bet you're just like me a while ago looking on how to study effectively to get the grades you want while studying less. I found that strategy, and it's called active recall. You're gonna learn how to active recall the what, why, how, and when in under 4 minutes. So if you blink, there are timestamps in the description. Feel free to go back and rewatch. Let's start with the what. Active recall is retrieving information from your brain without referring to any resources. That's the key, without referring to the resources. You need to recall the info from memory. You might have come across these names, they're all essentially referring to the same thing. Now, why is active recall one of the most effective study strategy? Well, let me ask you this. When you learn how to ride a bike, what's the proof that you're able to ride a bike? Being able to balance on 2 wheels and riding without falling over, right? Now, can you do that by watching others or reading it from a manual? No, right? You understand the basics and then you practice riding on your bike. Fall down a few times, get some injuries, and next thing you know, you're riding the bike. Same thing goes with learning. What's the proof of you having learned something? It's being able to recall the info and making sense out of it so you can apply it in different situations. So it makes sense that if you need to recall the information, then you should practice recalling the information and not relying on reading off your text, watching videos, or writing notes. But you shouldn't just take my word for it. There are evidence from research on the effectiveness of active recall. I'll place their links in the description if you're interested to check them out. So then, how do we do it? Here are some of the ways you can active recall. You can take a pre-test before learning anything new. That will give you a gauge of where you're at and keep you on the lookout for the right info when you're learning the content. Also, when you're learning something new for the first time, don't try to take in the info all at once. Pause and recite. Read a few lines, pause, and then talk to yourself. Verbalize so that it makes sense before continuing. It's more time consuming, but what's the point of going fast when you don't understand a single thing you just read anyway? Next is creating study questions for quizzing. Let's say you're learning the formula for Boyle's law in chemistry. Instead of writing out P1V1 is equals to P2V2, you write, what is the formula for Boyle's law? So that when you're revising, you're forced to recall the formula for Boyle's law. You can place these study questions on flashcards or apps like Anki, Quizlet, or even using the toggles in Notion. I'll talk about using Notion for active recall in the upcoming video. So if that's what you're interested in, turn on that bell notification. Since a lot of the things you're learning require you to be able to apply the concepts, you'll want to try out problem sets or work on your assignments without referring to your notes. Once you struggle with it and you can't remember the info, then you look it up. Lastly, do practice testing when preparing for your exams. It's like solving problems, except for you mimic the exam conditions. Like the type and number of questions, the time limit, environment, you get the idea. So when should you active recall? You can do these things before class and these after class. In fact, while class is running, you can add on to your existing study questions. So when you're out of class, you can start quizzing yourself. Do you need to do all of these? Of course not. Pick and choose which works best for you and the course you're studying, which brings me to today's question. Which of these methods are you currently using or planning to start? Let me know in the comments. Here are a quick way to create your own practice test. Definitely check it out. I'll see you over there.